Now we are going to apply butter along with parsley, which will act as a moistening agent, as well as it will also give flavor to the chicken. So it has got a skin. We try to fill it up between the skin so that the moistness is there. The moment you do not use this method, if you do not have butter, you can substitute with oil. But then fat is very important ingredient which will give moistness and the flavor. If you do not do that, the meat will become very, very dry. So flavoring from inside the cavity is also equally important. So, So what we are using salt and white pepper powder. You can go and tell in the restaurant that we got 11 vegetables. 12. Okay, 12 vegetables. Now when we do the roasting of bird, it is important that all the meat should be intact properly, right? Because the moment when the bird starts cooking, the meat becomes little loose and shrinks. So the shape is gone, and then serving becomes a challenge. So tying a bird is very, very important. So here we have made a cavity with a knife in an insertion, and we try to stuff the leg with that, stuff the leg in that. Let's say get to the tray of chicken. So like this, we have already got 3 birds here, which we have already done it priorly. And when we keep it in the oven for roasting, we always make sure that we keep some root vegetables at the base, so that the meat should not get stuck to the tray while cooking. Right? So the base of vegetable is very, very important. And then we are going to keep it for roasting at a temperature of 180 degrees centigrade for at least 1.5 hours. Right? 1.5 hours is the minimum time it will take for the whole bird to get cooked. Right? Lasa, please keep this straight inside, birds inside the oven. Check the temperature before you put it inside. Give me a little space, please. Alright, so now the next thing is making the pasta. Can you please put this lid at the back? Can I get this container filled with water? Now, for making a pasta, we are using penne pasta. Now, usually in the market, you get this, we call this as a dried pasta. There are also fresh pasta, which we make it a handmade pastas, right? So, the handmade pastas, though are a little soft, they take less time to cook. 5 minutes of boiling water, when you dip it into the boiling water for 5 minutes, that is more than enough for a fresh pasta to cook, whereas 8 minutes for the dry pasta. But the water has to be bubbling hot. Right? So you can take a count by watch. 8 minutes is more than enough, and then you can take it out. We use a term called as al dente. which is an Italian term, al dente, which means the pasta has to have a little crunch when you're eating. Most of the time when you eat pastas at a hotel or any restaurant, you might have seen that the pastas are little mushy and soft. That is not the way the pasta has to be. It has to have a little crunch so that you have to get a little bite. The more mushy pasta, the more it is overcooked pasta. Can you please light this range, please? Can I get a lighter? Lid. Now, for making the Arrabiata is a very classical sauce which goes along with pasta. The base is a plain European tomato sauce with the addition of chili flakes. Right? That is what the Arrabiata means. Now, for making the sauce, we would require chopped onions. We require chopped leeks. Now, this is a leek, right? It is a European vegetable which belongs to the family of onion, but has got much intense flavor than the onion. So it is expensive, little expensive quality of onion, I would say. All right. So this is leeks. Then we have got chopped celery. So celery again is a European vegetable. You will not find anywhere usage in Indian cuisine. This is a vegetable where we generally don't use the leaves part, but probably we use the stem part and finely chop it. You can just pass it on you can take a little aroma of it, smell it, so that you will get an idea that what kind of these vegetables are, right? Then we have got chopped parsley, right? Chopped parsley is just like coriander in Indian cuisine, but then parsley is again a very European herb used prominently in the making of sauce. Then we have got tomato puree. We have got some chopped basil. Do we have some fresh basil? So basil is what? In Indian language we generally call it as a tulsi, but it is actually not a tulsi. It is another species of a tulsi. Alright? And then we have got the pasta. We have got some tomatoes which we are going to blanch them into the hot water before we start making them into the sauce. Give me a knife, please. So for making the sauce, it is very important that the tomatoes what I am going to use here has to be without skin and without seeds. So in order to make it without skin and seeds, at the back I'll just put a crisscross mark, and this side I'll just remove the eye. Can I get a little sharp knife, please? Like this, I just have to remove the part. So I've just done with all the tomatoes. I've removed the eye, and then I'm going to give a crisscross mark. Okay. This is of no use for me. Give me a duster. See the bubbling water, and in this bubbling water I'll drop it for 10 seconds. Give me a frying spoon. Boy, frying spoon. No. So I'll drop this into the hot water all together. Count it in 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll take it out. After that, if I start peeling off the skin, it will come out very easily. Like this, okay? Can you please help me to take out the skin? So this is without skin. There is one more thing I need to do. I need to make it without seeds. So I need a little strainer and a container. Now since here the water is boiling, I'll also drop the pasta in this because the pasta needs to be blanched in a hot water. And while boiling, I'll make sure that I've added little oil because it is a starch. Once you cook the starch, they tend to stick to each other. And don't forget to add the salt. Can you please open this? Right. That's fine. I would add. Can you please take this file? So I'll just cut the tomatoes like a lemon into 2 pieces. And take this file also, it will get dirty. So I'll squeeze all the tomatoes. So you can see the seed. I do not want seeds actually. I can use this part. So I'll dump this in the garbage. And then probably I'll just roughly chop it. So my tomato is ready. Now in the meantime, the pasta is also cooked. Right, 8 minutes are done. I'll drain off the water. And run it under a cold water so that the cooking process is little stopped. In the same pan, take this pan. Excuse me. I'll start with the addition of oil. Make sure that when you're cooking anything, there has to be no water in the container, otherwise the oil starts splattering. whenever we make European food, the quantity of oil is much less to what we make when we make Indian food. Indian food are all full of oils, masalas, like that. But European food is no oil, no masala. So once the oil is hot, I need chopped garlic is there? Chopped garlic? Just check. Yes. So I would be needing little chopped garlic. So the garlic only releases flavor when it starts changing its color. You probably will get the flavor of garlic right now. That it has already started changing its color. This is the time I'll add little gimme onions. We don't give the color to the onions, right? Cooking is just for sauteing without changing its color. Then I add leeks. Celery. Remember that the color should not come. We are here to just release the flavor of the ingredients. So for example, if you're cooking and it is getting color, probably the easiest way, you take it off from the flame and you cook it, right? Because controlling heat at this point of time with the gas range, new ranges, is difficult. So better you take it out from the flame and you manage the heat. Now at this point of time, I'm going to add the entire tomato puree. At this point, I'll have to give it a little flame to it. Get me a pasta plate. I would be needing a pasta plate. And boy, give me some pasta, boiled pasta in this. Season it with salt. I would also be needing little sugar. Nasir, clean the plate. Once your tomato puree is cooked, I add the tomatoes which I have blanched. And allow it to cook. In the meantime, I can make my station a little organized. give me a little water. Now in this, I'll add some basil. Kritika, just check if you have got some fresh basil in the store so that we can show them. I would also need a little spoon. No, I have got, thank you. Probably what you can keep a boiling water on all of its stations. A little sugar to balance the sourness of tomato, because tomatoes are sour. Usually if you remove the seeds from the tomatoes, the sourness is already down, but still because of the seeds, since it's a fruit, the sourness is also there in the flesh. Probably to cut down that little sourness also, we add a pinch of sugar. Pepper. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, the basil, right? This is how it looks, right? You can pass it on this, you can just take the little aroma of it, you get the freshness. So now the sauce is ready. Now I'll show you how to toss pasta. Give me this pan. So my sauce is ready. I'll take a pan. Usually in the hotels, these sauces are kept ready. So on your stations, when you go, the tomato sauce is already going to be ready. You just have to blanch the pasta, just cook the pasta, toss it in your tomato sauce. That's what you're going to do. So again, with the addition of little oil, and I need a pasta plate. No, not this one. This one. So I'll add little sauce into it, little water, and then I'll drop the boiled pastas into it. Again, required a little pinch of salt, little pinch of pepper, and keeping a little water so that the pasta has absorbed the flavor of the sauce. And finally, the addition of chili flakes in order to call it as a Arrabiata. Get me a ring mold. This is very small. Fine, I'll manage. No worries. This is ready. Just be a little careful. Give me a little crisp, Parmesan crisp. I'll put this herb as a garnish. Give me Parmesan crisp, please. If you want, you can sprinkle some more chili flakes on the top. What? Right, so that's how it is. Right, so this is what, so this cheese, the crisp what I'm talking about is a melted cheese. We have just set it up in a ring mold. We have baked this cheese, so this also is edible. You can get a flavor of cheese while having it. Cheese always becomes a classical condiment with making of pasta. All right.